Hello there. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good everything. Wherever you're joining us from, have you been waiting for me? We've been celebrating our female folks globally. The month of March is all about women. Women, yes, we've been talking about them, celebrating them. And this evening, we have a wonderful person in the studio to continue this conversation. Yes, welcome. This is the WordCafé live show with Amachree Isoboye, your neighborhood word trader. I believe in words. I believe in the power of words, for it is the unit of creation. Yes, I have NK Maduforo in the studio with me. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
In fact, I
NK,
think better
you're
than I
welcome.
would.
Look at that. You're welcome. Don't worry. She has a lot
Thank
to
you.
tell us about herself and share with us that phenomenal woman essence, all about her. NK, you're welcome. Now, this is what we do on the show. I always
Thank
tell
you.
my guests, you're welcome. I don't introduce you. You need to introduce yourself because nobody knows you like you know yourself. So, NK, who is NK? Hello, are you there? Hello, NK.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. So
So
who
I
is
didn't
NK?
hear. You said I didn't hear the last.
Let's get to meet
Okay.
NK Maduforo. Who is she?
Oh my goodness. NK Maduforo is a woman of many parts. But I would say that basically in fact, I am God's daughter. I don't know about you guys. But me, I am God's daughter.
Wow.
Raised by God. I'm a God-made woman. Honestly, some people say they are self-made, but I am God-made.
Wonderful.
Every fire I have comes from the Lord Himself directly. And I don't just say this because they are words to throw around, but because that is the truth. So while I have my parents raising me, I feel like alongside that I've got God just, cherishing and nourishing me. So that's me, that's NK Maduforo, God's daughter, who then finds herself in different roles. Everything I do actually stems from that, and that's just what it is. Everything I do stems from my relationship with God. Some people know how to separate things, and so this is the work. This is my own. It's like it's a running.
Integrated.
It's a running thing. God is just it's in everything that I do. Yeah. So that's me in an essence. I'm God's daughter, God-made woman.
Whoa, God-made woman. So NK, I believe, is a short form for something.
Yeah, so my full name is actually, I have this, yes. So my full name is actually Nkiruka. Nkiruka means my future is bright. So I have this thing where I was in Nkiruka at birth, yeah? Okay. Then, but most people, Nigerian, and we like to call people shorter. It's like, what's the point of giving us long names and then you now shorten it? Anyway, so there you go. So then most people called me Nkiru most of primary, most of secondary. I was Nkiru. And then by the time I got to university, I became Nki. For some reason, people decided to drop off the roof. So most people knew me as, hey, Sister Nki, Nki. And then I was actually, I think I was still Nki most of, I said university. And then youth service, well, I still managed to hold on to the Nki bit. And then after youth service, for some reason, somebody just dropped off the I. And so they started calling me NK. And so that kind of stuff. And I'm like, so I'm saying this to everyone. Please don't make it any shorter. I don't want to be or I don't want to be just an N-O.
Okay. Wow, that's lovely. So you can see the metamorphosis, more or less.
That's the story of how I became NK.
So it shows how you've been traveling your journey, so to say. Has the name is changing, so you're changing for the better, so to say. So you're being transformed, awesome, awesome. So what is it like
So true.
being I know you're a mother because I saw you have two boys, I guess. Am I correct?
Yeah, I've got two boys.
Whoa.
Yes, I've got two
So what's
boys.
it like? What's it like? What's it like? Tell us.
Oh gosh, motherhood is it's one is an interesting journey.
Okay.
Most of their early years was spent not in Nigeria. So
Okay.
it was a very, very, very hands-on thing, so it's a very hands-on motherhood, which for me is a thing that has continued
I like that.
throughout. I feel like
You're
both
using NK, you're using handsome in place of beautiful. So most of us say beautiful thing, but you say handsome. And I like that. Awesome. Go ahead.
yeah, so I feel like from their pregnancy, both pregnancies were easy, I was still running around looking for puff
Mm-hmm.
puff on the
Are you
day
serious?
of my due date. I'm telling you, I was
Mm-hmm.
there driving around, and someone said, "Oh, okay, when are you due?" I'm like, "Oh, today." And they're like, "Oh, you're around town like this." So yeah, so both births were actually really very smooth, and then just having them both has been, one of the life-changing things. I remember when my mom visited me 3 months after I'd had my first son, and I
Okay.
think we were in the sitting room talking, and he was in his cot sleeping. I just heard,
Okay.
"Wah." My goodness. In fact, I don't think Usain Bolt could have run faster than me. The way I just went, pew, jumped over furniture, pew, blah, and then
Wow.
landed in the room. My mom was like, whoa.
Mm?
She was like, wow, so this is motherhood can make you this way.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
like I just
Beautiful.
mid conversation just disappeared like I could have had a cape on that day. I just
Mm.
flew, so
Wow.
I kind of like that. And it's a theme even when we came back here. It's just something that we've continued. So I never really had um helps involved with the
Okay.
children.
Oh,
It's always been, and it's
just
the
you.
same because from there, yes, myself, my husband, we've always been hands-on with the boys. So yeah,
I can
so
I can feel that.
that's motherhood for us.
I can feel that energy. Somebody just dropped a comment. I guess trolley. Hi, Enki.
Hey
You know her.
Timmy, hi.
Good, good. All right. See. So now you just said something that is so instructive. For many of us growing up, we we never had helps at home. We
Mm,
grew up with our parents, mom, dad, and sometimes uncles and aunties come around to help.
mhm,
But
mhm,
this generation now, that has changed a bit, where a lot of mothers actually, because of the, would I say, pressure, not societal pressure now, but
mhm.
the man cannot fend for the family all by himself. Now you need to provide support and all that. So they look for helps, either living or come and go, as we call it. So, I mean, what do you have to say about
Yeah.
that?
I think it's not just about the fact that the men cannot fend for the family by themselves. I think if most people want to live within what you have, if that's what you have, then that's it. But I
Mm,
feel that the trend has just changed because of the way things have changed. Like in our mother's generation, a lot of them were teachers.
mhm.
A lot of them married early. My mom married as a teenager.
Yeah, same
So
for
a
me.
lot of them, yeah. So exactly, they married early. So it's not like us who you had to finish school, do university. So a lot of them would have done all the rest of the education while
Mm,
they were married. So a lot of people at that time were involved in teaching careers and stuff. So you would finish early and then come home and have time for the children. But now you come to our generation where we are going to university, we are in school the same time as the guys.
yeah.
We come in with dreams, we come in with passion. Nobody's telling you, oh no, you have dream about becoming a teacher. No, you're thinking
No.
big. You're thinking, I want to do this. I want to change the world. And there's no restriction. So when you have that in mind. It sometimes doesn't even matter whether the husband is earning enough or not.
Yeah.
There is a passion
You're
that is
pursuing
driving.
your vision.
Yeah, so a lot of people are driving and are being driven by those passions. And so
Okay.
a lot of those passions, actually, unlike the old days, require
Mm,
more hours.
mm.
So you find that the women then find themselves working almost the same hours as their husband, and then somebody has to help out at home.
Okay, so
you know
I mean, it's only wisdom to have that helping hand around.
oh
So it's
you
not
know
like
come on, you have to. Yeah.
okay. All right. What is that thing that drives NK? What is that thing? As in, whenever you are there in that element, so to say, you're just there. You feel yourself. What's that thing?
Oh, so okay. So there are two ways. There's the one that drives me, and there are the ones that tick me off.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
am and I yesterday as I sat and that word came during the vigil.
Mm,
When we did
okay.
the stuff with Fela Duro Toye on the last
Yeah.
day. A
Yeah.
word
Sweet
that
for
dropped for
gold.
me was fire. So just
Whoa.
fire. And I was like, oh, what do you do with this? It didn't sound like, it's like, oh, comforter or something. It was just fire.
Fire.
And so yesterday, during the vigil, I remember there was worship going on, and the rekindler just came.
The
Which kind of
rekindler.
yes,
Wow.
which just connects with the fire. I'm the
Uh-huh.
type of person, I set places alight. That's just it.
Wow.
If I come into a place and you're around me, there is no way. I just don't believe that talent should waste.
Uh-huh.
So I I
Uh,
I I am the type of person that does a SWOT analysis on people. So I look at
uh,
them. I'm like, what's your strength? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities you have? What are the threats that you have? And then I try to push people's strength. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, who sent me? But I can't help it. It's just what
yeah. I
So
feel
I'm
you.
not the type of person who's there and trying to make sure the people around you don't succeed. No, I'm like
Mm,
hey, everybody, let's go. And even if you're getting ahead of me, it's like woohoo, I'm there shouting. And so
exactly.
that's just my kind of person. Then the things that tick me off, which also can be a driving force for me, is I don't like injustice.
Uh-huh.
I don't like unfairness, and I sometimes
Uh-huh.
don't like inequality. So if I'm in a place where somebody is being treated unfairly and
Uh,
um, there is no justice, I find that passion is in me is there to defend.
uh.
So that's those are my
Awesome.
driving forces.
Awesome. Awesome. I have to ask you this question because I know you love music. Uh, you love music. You love singing.
Uh,
Why, if I may? Why? Why music?
um, why music? Music is something that's always been. You know what? I feel like when I was born, instead of just crying, I just went, "Hey, hey." That's my imagination. My mom hasn't told me that, but that's how I feel like I came into the world. So music is
Wow.
something that I've loved I've always loved music, even as a child. It's just the sound of sound makes me happy.
The
I so
sound of sound
and my
makes you
ears,
happy.
oh yeah, once I just hear the beats, whatever. It's been there since I was a child, Just I've always just loved music. So in our
So
house then we had a
do
lot
you
of
go on, go on.
no, I mean in our house we had a lot of vinyl records, the old LPs, the big
Yeah,
ones
yeah,
that you put
yeah,
with the
yeah,
stereos. So there was
exactly.
just a lot of music around the house. So yeah, that was a big
So
influence
do you
too.
do it professionally now?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I do music professionally. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually trying to
Mm-hmm.
think, when did it so what even
When
makes
did you start?
people professional? Well, the thing is, yeah, that kind of thing. You're like thinking, no, I
When
do
you
music
do it in
professionally.
quote for a living, as you do it for
For
a
what?
living. So
For a fee.
a living, a fee, exactly.
Oh,
So they
for a
say,
living. Oh,
a
okay.
living. She's a
Well, I don't know
professional, or
about
he's a
well.
professional.
Well, so for me, I recorded my first EP just after I had my second son. Was when I recorded. But up until then, I've always been part of choirs in church. Growing up and I grew up in the Anglican system, so I'd always been part of the choirs. And even in school, I used to sing special numbers along with some friends. That was in secondary school, and in university too. I was a choir mistress at some point. I recently just finished a 2-year stint as the music director in my church. So the music is always ongoing. Then there's the me as an artist. That came just after I had. So that would have been, I think, I started recording like 2007 was when I had my second son. So yeah, so then I just hit the studio. I'd done 1 or 2 things in Nigeria, but then I hit the studio and then ended up with an EP and then became professional.
Professional.
Because I think, when you have an EP, then people take you serious,
Oh, good.
So
good. Let's take this comment. Timmy just dropped another comment here. So true. Women's aspirations and societal expectations have changed. She's just referring to what you said, a while ago. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you. So now you've done how many soundtracks now? How many have you done so far?
Oh, can I count the soundtracks? But I would say I've done 2 EPs. I'm trying to count how many singles
For those who don't know what an EP is, please, what's an EP? School us again.
Extended play. So it's just music put together is like extended play. So like a shorter album, but not like a full album.
All right. So what has it been like? What has it been like on your music journey? What has it been like?
It's actually been fantastic. So initially, when I went into the studio to record, my church, which I was going to in Scotland at that time, didn't have a choir. Like I said, I've always been part of a choir. So for the first time I was in a church that had no choir. Apparently the choir had been disbanded in 1940 or something like that.
Why?
Because the minister at that time felt, why should the best singers be in front? So the whole congregation sings together, and it's so beautiful. Honestly, if you hear the music, you'll be like, when did my mom visited? So that when did the church practice? I honestly, such beautiful singing. I think about it, goosebumps. Yes. So, but for me, I had songs that I'd been writing, so they needed to. I needed to express them. So, not being in a choir, the next thing was I'd go to the studio. So, I'd drop off my older son in nursery and then go along with the baby and go to the studio. And so that was just my way. I wasn't actually thinking about. I've always had, I'm a plan person, to be honest. So there are things I've written in my childhood that, I'll do this, I'll do it. It's always been there. But as at the time I went into the studio, it wasn't as if I was thinking about an EP. At that time, I was just so choked. I just needed to put the music out somewhere. So the studio I was going to for myself. So I was just singing along, and I had this nice producer, Dutch guy, and he was really enjoying the music. So we're just doing it. And then that was it. A program came and we're like, I've got enough songs. Let me put it out as an EP. And then I ministered in this program. And then, that's begun the journey of being invited to places to sing.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, I know for you to come this far, it's by God's grace, definitely.
By God's grace.
But there's a man somewhere. Am I sure? Am I correct?
There's what? Oh, of course.
There's a man somewhere. Can we talk about the man?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, we can talk about the man.
Go ahead.
Honestly, oh gosh, I can't do with music. Do you know? Let me even tell you something. Come closer. So do you know? Music came along with my proposal.
Are you serious?
Oh yes, oh God, it was.
So he's a singer too, then?
No, he's not. But he knew how important music was to me. So
Mm,
when he was proposing, he promised that, look, your music would not suffer. I would make
yeah.
sure that I give every support and that you would always. So, and that's what he's done. He's kept his word. Well done, husband.
Wow.
Yeah, so he
I'm proud
said
of
it.
you.
I can remember what he was wearing. I can remember how we were walking, and he was making this
You
promise.
don't say. You
I
don't
tell
say.
you,
That is
and
so sweet.
and
That's
he
so sweet.
and he has kept it. So he's made sure
Wow.
that sometimes it's like he even carries it on the head more than me. I'll just be there, like sometimes you're the music person, you just record, you're just happy that you put music out.
Mm,
And my husband is like, oh, how do we get this out? How do we promote this? So yeah, so that's really he's gotten it.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now this is to those men out there. Like, come on, give that lady in your life that support because she needs it. You can imagine what NK is describing. She remembers how the proposal came in music form, and I mean, music is just running in her bloodstream, and today it's everywhere. Awesome, awesome.
Hallelujah.
How do you unwind? How do you unwind? But before we go there, Timmy just dropped another comment. I really need to see this word. Amazing how God orders our steps into purpose. Your EP. I guess you know what she's
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you.
awesome. So how do you unwind? How do you unwind?
Um, oh, well, I walk. I walk every morning, Timmy,
Okay,
who dropped the comments, she's also a walker, so I walk most mornings. Actually, it's
okay.
it's great because then I can listen to music. I put out playlists, so it's a chance to just listen. I put those playlists when I started them. It was for myself basically. So I
Mm,
tend to then listen to music. I listen to sermons, and sometimes I just have a conversation with the Lord, while I'm
mm,
walking. So I find that
mm.
really, really, you know, relaxing. And then the other thing is I like to. I'm not a TV person. I'm a program person. So
Okay,
I don't just watch TV. I would just have a program I like, and that's basically
that's it.
that's it. So then yeah, sports and just gisting. Like me, I like to hang out with my husband and I, we can gist. Because we're
That's
friends,
good.
so it's just easy. So yeah. So that's
He's
nice
not
sometimes
just
to just
he's not just
catch
your
up.
husband. He's your friend.
No, he's my friend. Yes, we were
Oh,
first friends before we became husband and wife.
oh, how sweet that is.
Yeah. So when
I
we
love
when we,
that.
you know how this lockdown, I do a marriage program. So
Okay.
I run a marriage program,
Tell us, yeah,
and yeah, so
before we came
I'm a
on, you
counselor.
mentioned that. Yes. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I do something called how to get married and stay married. So I feel like there's so much effort and emphasis on getting married and photo shoots and all the excitement with that, but people don't really think about the staying part, And I think for me, what actually inspired going into that was so social media, we're all on social media, and I think there had
Yeah.
been a lot of news and stories about husband kills wife, wife kills husband, So
Mm,
you see a lot of comments by young people that they're scared about marriage, it's no more looking like what they thought. And I'm like, come on, they're actually great marriages, as
yeah. Yeah.
like my parents have been married over 50 years now.
Whoa.
My
Oh,
grandparents too.
Indeed.
Yes, my it was 50 last year, so it's 51 now. It's going towards 51. And then my grandparents, the
Ah,
same. I was there
whoa.
for their 50th wedding anniversary as well, and so it went beyond
Your
50. So
grandparents, you mean?
my grandparents too, So I'm like, yeah, marriage is actually, So I just thought, oh, I'll just have a program and showcase marriages that are working, and it was just kind of to give people hope to say, hey, it's not
Mm,
all that bad, it's not all that bad. And so I think one of the times we've talked about, I think I put it, I think on my social media as in marrying your friend. That's what got us
mm,
to this place. So yeah, so
mm.
for me, we were friends before we ventured into the marriage terrain.
Terrain.
Yeah.
Good. Cool. Cool. I mean, there's nothing like being you with that
Yeah.
person. That's your significant other. You're just you. You know, listening to what you just said a while ago about your parents, 60 years,
Yeah,
and your
50.
grandparents. You know, a lot of us
And
look
oh,
at.
you should see my parents laughing together. It's like, come on.
I
You
can
know, this
imagine. You know, this generation is like there's this picture in so many minds like marriage, it's not for me. No, but the truth is you're seeing people who they've been married for 50 years. That's not
mm-hmm.
saying they've not had their fair share of challenges and
Yeah.
all that, but they've been able to work it out, and they are at this point you can say they are just one. They are
In
one.
fact, my parents look alike, honestly.
They've seen each other for 50 good years. What do you expect?
Yeah, they look
Whoa.
alike. Yeah.
I'm going to take this comment again from Timmy. I'm feeling her. Say, fulfilling purpose together. Any husband in the house?
Whoop,
Yes.
whoop,
Yes.
husband in the
You know,
house.
yes. I mean, you're together with your wife. You're supporting her in as much as she is supporting you too. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing. All right. Now, the way you unwind, you take your work, you listen
Yeah.
to music,
I
you
listen
you
to
spend
music.
yes, you
Yeah.
spend
Then
that
sometimes
quiet.
like we're sports people. So sometimes my
Okay.
husband and I could play table tennis, you know.
Oh,
He
ah,
doesn't he doesn't have
ah.
mercy on me.
Oh,
Oh.
now
He doesn't do
now I
all that
have
I'm
to
playing with
change.
wife.
I have to change my schedule. I have to change it. Oh, you play sports with him. Hey guys, can you hear this? You know, some of us are too serious and all that. You don't hang out with your wife. It's like business. You know, you make it look like one business, but this is pleasure, for crying out loud. Playing table tennis. Go on. NK,
Yeah.
sorry for
No,
continuing.
it's
Go on.
no, it's okay. And then as a family, oh, one thing that we love that's a great way of unwinding is playing cards. You know the what?
Mm-hmm.
The pick twos and the pick three and the hold on.
General market and hold
General
on and
market.
all
That's
that.
us as a family. That's we'll be laughing until our chins, our cheeks hurt. You know,
Memories,
so that one
memories. You
involves the
create.
boys as well. And I like to play.
Okay,
I'm a games person actually. I grew up playing games, and
okay,
so I just put that into my family as well. So I'd play hours of Monopoly with the boys, you know.
okay.
And when I can get them to Scrabble,
Mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm,
we prefer the
mm-hmm.
Monopoly. There's money involved.
Yeah, there's money involved. They learn how to spend and to make money too.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, no, yeah. So
what do
those are
you
the
have
things I
to
love.
say to the young women out there? What's your message for them? Even the
Life,
married now, but
yeah, just I mean, any woman, you know, first of all, I think you have to know yourself. Because
know
in
yourself.
everything, to be honest, I don't lose myself. I don't know. It's just something. There's just me, you know. There is Nkiruka Maduforo. It's not covered by any other thing or any role I play, whether I'm a wife or a mother. You know, you just have yourself. I don't know how to describe it. So first of all, you have to know yourself because it's that self then you then carry into any of these roles. So a lot of times when
Okay,
we don't know ourselves, then we are hit. What's that word we use in that? It's
that's boost.
we are we are hit in different, you know, you find some of these things then defining you. But no, I come
Wow,
as me and I bring my role, I bring me into
me,
every of these roles. So
awesome,
that's it. So I can separate things, you know.
awesome.
So
So
that's what
first of
I would say to any person is first of all know yourself because it's that self that you then bring and you know take
all,
along wherever you go.
you discover who you are. You
Yep,
know, just like the scripture will say, in Him we move, we live, and have our being.
straight up.
You know who you are. So who you are is what drives you into anything you're doing. So wow, amazing. We can go on and on talking, but
I know. Time
time is not our friend, as you know.
is
Before we
our
let you go, time is
friend.
our friend. Okay.
You are
Before
the
we let
word.
you
You're the
go,
word speech. I'm like words. I'm using words.
words. When you are in that element, everything called time ceases to exist. You're
True,
just
true.
flowing endlessly. It's like you are seeing immortality, so to say. It just goes. It's when you come back, it's like, you mean we spent almost 3 hours doing this?
Yeah.
But
True.
before we let you go, you just have to say something musically. We want to hear that NK's version of that beautiful piece.
So I'll sing No More Broken and maybe mix it a bit with Brand New, because those are they're my latest song.
Just do your thing,
so,
do your thing,
yeah?
do your thing. Come on.
No more, I'm no more broken. No more, I'm no more broken. I'm no more broken. I am free from despair, lifting my head high. I'm no more broken, brand new.
That's the song.
Brand new. That I'm brand new. Yeah, I've been found by you.
Thank you, NK, guys.
Thank you so
check
much
for these songs on YouTube. Amazing. Brown New and No More Broken. Awesome. NK, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence on the WordCafé live show.
Thank you for having me.
Please avail yourself again when we call. Before we go, Timmy just dropped another line. Timmy, I feel you on this show. Great advice. Discovering ourselves is a lifetime journey, though. True.
Yes, it is.
True.
Yeah,
True.
it is.
And she just lifted those hands now to that lyric. You just put out there. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having me.
You know how we do it on the show. This is where we come to hear ourselves to become what God expects us to be on the WordCafé live show. I'm your host, Amachree Isoboye. I believe in the power of words, for it is the unit of creation. NK, regards to that man in your life and those boys around
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye.
Bye.